Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of our YouTube series, Proverbs, God's Encouragement for You. Today we'll be going over chapter 6 of Proverbs titled Practical Warnings. So, we see here in chapter 6, we see 3 practical warnings in the first half of chapter 6. The first one starts in verses 1 through 5, which I'll read for you guys here. It says here, "My son, if you have put security for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger, if you are snared in the words of your mouth, caught in the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself. For you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go hasten and plead urgently with your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler." So we see here the big one that is talking about, in one of my notes it says here, is talking about don't be lazy, swallow your pride, and if you are in debt to somebody, go and get yourself free of that debt. Do not be prideful or in this situation. Just make sure you take immediate action and get out of that debt. Like, why would you want to hasten yourself to that financial ruin of being indebted to someone? If you have the money, go and free yourself, because you will have that over you for quite a long time. It says here in my Bible, if you have put up security for your neighbor, that is, if we have guaranteed someone else's debt, we should swallow our pride, take immediate action, and get free. Why would we put our financial future in the control of another? Basically saying that, why would you want to hold your financial future, your financial standings in the hands of somebody else when it is your responsibility to control your finances, not somebody else? The grace of financial integrity keeps us available to serve God. We want to be in His hands only, not at all in the hands of our neighbor. So we see here, if you are in debt to someone, if it is possible, go and get out of that debt as soon as possible, because you don't want to have that holding over your head for a long time, because it's rough, and it can also ruin friendships and relationships too as well. So definitely get out of debt. The second one we see is, I feel like, a very practical one for everybody, and that is, don't be lazy. Just don't be lazy. We are all called to do something in our lives, whether that's working or doing something productive, but don't be lazy, because God made work a good thing and to be productive in doing things. But sitting on the couch and not doing anything, it's not productive. But we see here, starting in verse 6, it says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. And poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man." So we see here, it can be pretty harsh, but saying, obviously, like I said, don't be lazy, but make yourself useful and be productive with what God has given you. Your hands, your feet, your eyes, your mouth, your ears. Go and do something, but most importantly, go do what God calls you to do. God calls every single person to go work. And we might not know right now what that is, but God calls us to go work and serve other people. So I encourage you to go and do that. If that's something that has been put on your heart, go and do that. Figure out what God might be calling you to do, or go and try to serve someone. Maybe it's in your church, your neighborhood. Go and do that. Because look at the ant. I love how he uses the example of an ant. An ant who is so small, like that big, can lift twice its weight, which is really heavy for an ant. That's like us trying to lift twice our weight. And that's hard for a lot of people. But it makes, without it having anyone in control of it, it makes its home, and it feeds itself. It does all this thing because of how God created it. And God is comparing us to an ant and saying, like, go look at the ant. Look what it can do. Go and do the same thing with yourself. Go and be productive. Go and be a servant for Christ, like that. And I just love that, because ants are so cool. They're such small insects, and yet they're so powerful. It's so cool. And then lastly, the third one talks about sowing discord and one who sows discord. So this one in my notes, it says here, the third one is warning us not to violate the grace of divinity provided fellowship. The folly of sowing discord among brothers is so serious, the warning is repeated in verses 12 through 19. The strong word abomination sets a troublemaker apart with the same moral stigma as a prostitute. But blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. So we see here, this is a very, very big one. But sowing discord, don't sow discord or disconnection with someone, like holding a grudge against someone. Don't sow that in your life. Don't hold that against somebody. But sow connections, be peacemakers with each other. Don't hold a grudge against someone for your whole life, because in reality that is just, it's not helpful. It's not useful. So let's starting verse 12. It says here, a worthless person, a wicked man, goes about with crooked speech, winks with his eyes, signals with his feet, points with his finger, with perverted heart devises evil, continually sowing discord. We see that's the first time we see the word sowing discord. Therefore, calamity will come upon him suddenly. In a moment, he will be broken beyond healing. I just want to stop there. That's harsh to hear. Basically saying he will be devastated. He will be destroyed. That's harsh, even coming from God. I mean, it's not harsh for God to say that, but for us, that's dang, that's rough. And 16 says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are the abomination to him. And here it's going to list those. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, false witnesses who breathe out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Once again, we see that right there. So, we see here, God has made a list of things he hates. Now, we obviously know God hates all sin, and that is very clear in the Bible. But we see here, these are things that God despises even a lot, with sin, because it's not just sin, but it breaks relationships. It breaks peace between humans and us. Sorry, I have to sneeze. So we see here that we have the list, but we see that a lot of things comparing this list are things that are deceiving against other people and are discouraging against others. So we see here, sowing discord was the very last one, but it sounded like it was one of the worst ones. Because sowing discord is sowing negativity, it's sowing hatred towards each other. And it's God doesn't want that. He wants unity. Look at what Jesus did when he was here on earth. He made enemies, but not on purpose. He knew there's people not going to like him, and that's reality for us today too. But he didn't attack them or beat them or say hatred things against him. He just spoke truth. He was loving and spoke truth. Yes, a lot of people don't like hearing the truth. And yeah, the phrase the truth sometimes hurts is very real in this scenario. But speaking encouragement, speaking wisdom, speaking love into people's lives is what God wants for us. That's what it's saying here. Speak love, speak unity into each other. Don't sow hatred or discord against each other, because God despises it, because that was not his original plan for us. So, and that was a big thing when I was reading this, that it struck me too, because I've had times in my life where I've sown discord against other people, and luckily, by the grace of God, I have reunited with those people, and we've become good friends again. But just showing you the dangers of that. And then in the last half of this verse, we kind of covered in the last episode if you guys didn't watch it. But once again, just talking about the warning against adultery and how dangerous it is. And it repeats 2 or 3 times more again in the next couple chapters. But it just shows you how dangerous adultery really is. Do not fall into that trap of adultery, because it will scar you for life. And you don't want that. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope it's an encouragement for you. I know this has been an encouragement for me. If you guys like these videos or want to see other content, or you want me to talk about something else or make a video about it, please like, comment, and subscribe to these videos. I'll be trying to make these as throughout the month. And if there's another series you want me to go through, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to go through with you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Love you guys. God bless you, and have a great day.